good vibrations.
All right, well, this is another extra bonus episode similar to the last installment where we talked about the Truth Mind Reality event happening in Phoenix, Arizona in May next year. That will be of interest to many of the listeners in the US, and I hope that a lot of people will be able to get along to that. But a few days before, we have another event to talk about today along similar lines. It's a conference. This one is over 3 days and it's happening in Ireland. So this one may be much more of a practical option for anyone listening in Europe, and particularly the UK, and extra particularly in Ireland. So it's the Open Minds Ireland Conference. The first one took place earlier this year, and I was very happy to be a part of it in February. It went really well. There was a great array of speakers covering all kinds of different subjects connected to truth, consciousness, mind control, human freedom, all that good stuff. And I was really pleased to hear that the organisers are doing another one. And it takes place from the 2nd to the 4th of March 2018. And we've got the head honcho of Open Minds Ireland on the line today to talk to us all about it. Trevor Eivers, welcome back, mate.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
All good. So, yeah, this is an event that I hope is going to attract interest from listeners in this part of the world. Phoenix might be a bit of a trek for people to get out to, but it's pretty much the same subject matter on offer at this one. Maybe you just want to give us a quick overview of why you decided to put this event together in the first place.
Well, the Open Minds Conference aims to just 3 main objectives. The first one is to provide a platform for open-minded people to connect. The second objective is to provide conscious knowledge and awareness. And the third one, is probably the most important one as well, is to uplift people and provide solutions. The essence of the conference is basically to bring all different elements, different subjects, different topics together over the 3 days and look at the bigger picture of the agenda that's playing out in the world at the moment and join a few dots. And hopefully, like the first one, everyone who attended, the feedback we received was unbelievable. Everyone that left the first conference left with something, whether it be a piece of knowledge or so on, that they could actually make a change in their own lives and by proxy to the world around them.
All right. And stick around because we're going to be talking about a special offer on tickets very shortly. Details of how people can get an exclusive offer just through listening to this podcast. Well, I've put together a few one-day events myself, and I understand how much work is involved. It's a hell of a job. And you've crammed so much content into the 3 days here. Every day is absolutely brimming with stuff. And it's not just speakers, it's also workshops and little sessions and things like that. So maybe we should run through what components you've got bit by bit just to give people a flavour of what they can expect from this one.
Well, we have 18 speakers over the 3 days, 6 speakers each day. And it starts on Friday. So Friday the 2nd of March, doors open at 1. The first speaker is on at 13:35, which is 1:35, and his name is Gerard Banks. The title of his talk is Restoring the Knowledge and Wisdom of Ancient Ireland and its Role in the Evolution of the Conscious World. So each talk, by the way, is approximately 60 minutes, and at the end of each talk there will be 50 minutes opportunity for Q&A. So after Gerard we have a great guy, Barry Fitzgerald. And Barry's a great guy from Cork here in Ireland, and he's going to be talking about, the title of his talk is History, Law and Banking. After that we have a break, and we have Brian McCarthy at 4:30 talking about evictions in Ireland. And then after Brian we have David Walsh at 5:30, and the title of his talk is The Banking Scam. By the way, these talks at Friday afternoon, there's a team of the afternoon. The team is banking, law, evictions, that kind of theme.
All right, well, that's a good way of doing it, because I remember the event earlier this year, you tended to mix things up. So you'd have somebody talking about well-being or nutrition or whatever, and then you'd have some conspiracy subject on next, and it'd all kind of get mixed up like that. So you've themed it a bit more this time around.
So that's focus of the Friday afternoon, and that wraps up at 6:30 now. There's a break then for the evening, an hour break from 6:30 to 7:30. And again, the same as in the afternoon. In the evening, then we have a team, and the team is health and the truth about health and well-being. And we have a guy at 7:30, Damien Mooney, great guy. He's going to be talking about the politics of food and healthcare, and he'll be getting into the big pharma conspiracy and, vaccinations, the pros and cons, obviously mostly cons. And he'll be followed by a great lady, Bernadette Bohan. Now, Bernadette is very well known here in Ireland. She's written several books, like she's healed herself naturally from cancer. And the title of her talk is Improve Your Health Naturally. But she's going to be telling her story of how she didn't go down the route of the chemo and the radiation. She actually started researching for herself and forming herself. And, as you know already, there's many different alternative cures back in the 60s.
All the stuff we like to hear about.
Yeah, natural cures for cancer are out there, and are just being hidden from us by a multi-billion-pound money-making industry that just wants you to be sick.
Let's move on to Saturday.
On to Saturday. So Saturday starts very early in the morning for anyone who's interested. At 8:15 in the morning is a yoga morning with Tracy Boland. Tracy's a great lady, very good friend of mine, and she'll be doing a half an hour yoga. So for those early birds that might be up and about in the hotel, they might interest them to go in and get the day off to a great start. So 9:15 is kicks off again. The first speakers up is Alan and Steve from OIM Radio. So Alan and Steve have a great radio show the last couple of years on a Sunday evening from 7. The guys are based in Dublin. It's an internet radio show, and they reach a lot of people, and they have some really, really interesting guests on there. They have a very interesting talk that I've already seen back in September. I went to a conference, the Ireland Awakens Basis Conference, and the name of their talk is The Wake-Up Process and the Fluid Belief System. So the next speaker is a lovely lady, Aisling Fitzgibbon, also known as the Girl Against Fluoride. She'll be talking about the evolution of activism. So 12 to 1, we have an hour's lunch. 1 o'clock is great guys who also are at Open Minds 1, those conspiracy guys. So they're
right, is that both of them?
Yeah. So after those conspiracy guys, we have from 2:15 to 3:30, we have John Wilson. So he's actually Garda whistleblower. He'll be telling his story, and I know that's very relevant and popular now at the moment, and with the events of the last week here in Ireland. Next, after that, we have Tom Ryan. Tom was also at Open Minds 1. He was one of the highlights at Open Minds 1.
Yeah, his talk went down really well.
It did, yeah. He's excellent. So he'll be on at 4. The name of his talk is The Truth About the Human Mind. So after that, we're showing a movie directed by Nidge O'Sullivan. The name of the movie is Wild Atlantic Waste. After the movie, then we'll be having a live feed with Max Egan. That'll be at 6 o'clock a Saturday evening. And Max's talk is Which Path to Freedom? Looking Behind the Veil.
And just to clarify, Max can't be there in person, so this is a live video feed. We just want to make people aware of that because we don't want any issues with people claiming that he should have been there and he wasn't. So, we're just being upfront about that.
Exactly. Well, Max, unfortunately, he would be there. Only he's at a conference in Mexico the week before, and it's just wasn't feasible. Yeah, to get him physically there in person. But it's still going to be great doing the live feed. So after the live feed, we have, for 30 minutes, we have some shamanic drumming. To finish off the Saturday, even the second day, we have something very unique, which we have an Open Minds table quiz, which is a table quiz with a twist. So it's a really interesting table quiz, and I know your good self, you're going to be helping to...
Well, yeah, I saw on the schedule with Nidge and Mark D. I wondered if that was me. Apparently it is. So it's like a pub quiz with added conspiracy.
Exactly.
Lots of questions about Paul McCartney and Jim Morrison, probably.
Yeah, and more.
And a whole lot more, yeah.
So that's going to be a great way to get people together and mix and have a bit of fun as well, and also to learn something.
Yeah, that looks great. Looking forward to that one.
So day 3 then, the final day, we have on the Sunday, starting
more yoga.
again. Yeah, we have more yoga on Sunday morning. And the conference proper starts then again at 9:15. We have Daniel Laverte. The title of her talk is Messengers of Remembrance. She's coming over from London. After she's finished, we have Your Good Self at 10:45, and your title of your talk, Music as Mind Control, and hopefully you'll be able to provide us some information about your new book.
Indeed. That'll be some content from Musical Truth Volume 2. So just going back to Danielle's talk, I'm intrigued by the title, Messages of Remembrance. Do you know what that refers to?
That's going to be a surprise for me. I don't know. So it's
Okay.
It sounds interesting. So I'm going to look forward to it. And
all right, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. Wait and see. Then we have an hour and 15 for lunch. Okay, so after lunch, we have Nick Collistrom. So he's going to be talking about the Tour of Terror. And that's, again, very important subject, false flags, false terror, what's behind it, where it's gone.
And there'll probably have been another 4 or 5 between now and then that you can talk about.
I would think so. So that's going to be, quite a deep talk. I'm really looking forward to it. But after that, we have a lady at 2:45. Her name is Mary Graham. And she's going to be doing a section titled Sound Waves and the Magic of Vibrational Bliss. So basically what that is, it's healing through sound. So after that, we have Cian Foley. So Cian is going to be talking about Don't Eat for Winter at 4:30 to 5:30. He's followed then by the final talk of the whole conference. A lady, her name is Antia Fenton. She's written a couple of books. Her whole section will be an interactive group thing. Titled Working Collectively to Bring About Change. So it's going to be a great way to finish off the whole weekend, bringing everyone together and saying, okay, how can we move forward? What are the solutions? Where are we going from here? And even we have a meditation with John Payne to finish up. John, by the way, is just like Open Minds 1. He's going to be comparing the event.
All right, good.
That's going to be great. So, as you can see, that's 3 full days packed full of everything, basically. I think there's something for everyone in there.
Well, absolutely. Let's just talk about how people can get their butts to Waterford then. So if people are flying in, Cork or Dublin Airport are both options, right? And there are coach and bus connections through from those airports to Waterford?
I thought there was an option to fly into Waterford. But Waterford Airport seemingly are waiting on a licence to get those flights started. So I'm not sure the story with them. But until that, reality, the best option, to be honest, I think, is coming into Dublin. If you're coming from the UK, you have to come to Dublin. And then from Dublin, it's about, 2.5 hour bus. But basically, it's like the bus will drop you right outside Dooley's Hotel. The bus station is literally right across the road from Dooley's Hotel, and you can get a bus directly from the airport all the way to Dooley's Hotel.
Yeah, I did that earlier this year, JJ Kavanagh buses. And it's about between 2 and 2.5 hours, and they have buses all through the day. I had to leave about 6 o'clock in the morning on the Monday, but they've got buses then as well. So that's a good option for coming through directly from Dublin Airport.
That's right. You can also go to Cork as well. Cork is about approximately 2-hour bus journey from Waterford. But I don't think the flights are as frequent to Cork. I think Dublin is probably your best bet.
Yeah, I think there's a better range of flights to Dublin as well. All right. So in terms of accommodation, there's rooms available at Dooley's still, is there? Or if not, I guess there's a bunch of other hotels in the area, guest houses.
Yeah, Dooley's Hotel have given us special rates just like the last time. And all those rates and the details are on the Eventbrite page on our website as well. So, yeah, I mean, like if... it's quite reasonable, I think, and the rates that Dooley's have offered. And I think if it was me, I'd be looking to stay at Dooley's Hotel because obviously that's your part of the conference there and where everything is going on.
All right, so let's talk about the ticket prices. I mean, the standard ticket prices are incredible value for money as far as I'm concerned. In terms of what people get for their money. If you compare this event with a rock concert or a sports game or even a night out at the cinema or a show at the theatre, and you compare the value of what you're getting in terms of how many hours of content for what you're paying, it's just absolutely incredible. I know there's still nitpickers and haters that try and criticise it even on that basis, but compare it to all these other things that people think nothing of, going for a meal, a few drinks at the bar. The value of this is incredible. So just break down the regular ticket prices and then we'll get into this special offer. Yeah,
there's a couple of things about this. I mean, if I had my way, I'd have the event for free, but unfortunately, with the system we live in, this just isn't possible. The hotels need to be paid for, the promotion, the website, the speakers, travel and accommodation. There's so many different things
Exactly.
that is necessary in order to put on a conference of this magnitude. And by the way, unlike a lot of other conferences, we're solely dependent on ticket sales to fund it. And until ticket sales start to come through, I'm basically funding this out of my own pocket, so I'm the one at a loss. But
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, also on top of that, I did do a cost analysis in comparison to other similar type events around the world, including, I mean, one in Ireland, which is a great event, the Awaken Ireland conference, the Bases event back in September. Now, their ticket for a weekend pass was €150 for a weekend pass. Now, ours at the minute is 85 early bird and then 110 for after early bird. So I think that's great value. I mean, I've looked at different other events, whether it be the Free Your Mind event in Philadelphia in the States, whether it be Ian Crane's AV event in the UK. The Open Minds conference here in Ireland is the least expensive of all those.
Absolutely.
So I mean, we tried to basically keep the price at a price where it was affordable for people, but yet would cover all costs involved with putting on such an event. The first one, in fact, for the first event, actually made a small loss in the end, So, so that's just basically the thing. It's a non-profit event. I mean, I'm not profiting out of it. There's no one making any profit from it.
Sure.
It's, so that's the thing.
I mean, it would be great to put these on for free, but we've got to be realistic. We still live in a reality which is controlled by money, by the financial system that we have to be a part of. And until we find a better way of doing things, if we ever do, those of us that want to impart this kind of information are still bound by that. And I know there's people out there that say, oh, truth should be free and abundant. And yes, it should be. But if they've got a better idea as to how you can put a conference like this on, then go right ahead and do it, rather than just laying into people that actually are making the effort. The reality of the situation is there are higher fees, there are travel costs, there are all kinds of promotional costs associated with this, as anyone would find if they tried to stage one themselves.
Exactly. And just to add to that as well, there's something to be learned from everyone. Personally, I learned a lot myself from Open Minds 1. I'm sure I'm going to learn even more in Open Minds 2. Knowledge is knowing how little we know, and it's a journey. No one knows everything. No one has all the answers. And okay, as well, another argument is, I hear some of this stuff and it's available on YouTube. Well, that may be true in some cases, but it's an example would be you can stream music at low quality, iTunes or something like that, but you can also go to a concert. It's the experience as well. I mean, anyone that was at Open Minds 1 will tell you that was actual overall, was the atmosphere, the energy, the vibe, meeting new people, just actually hearing the information in person, and being there is a completely different experience from just sitting down in front of a laptop and watching a talk on YouTube,
Well, that's right. So I believe you've got an offer exclusively for listeners to this podcast on the ticket front.
So until Sunday evening, Sunday night, I think 11 p.m. So it'll be from the 1st of December to the 3rd of December. And the offer is 35% discount if you purchase a full weekend pass. So a full weekend pass at the minute is 110 after the early bird is finished after November. But for the first 3 days of December, for listeners to this podcast, okay, if you go on, purchase an all weekend pass at 110, you get 35% discount. I think it works out as something like 70 euros, which is even better than the early bird offer, which was 85 euros. So the code you need is good vibe. So good vibe, all in black capital letters. So what you do is you go into Eventbrite, the ticket page, you go purchase for the all weekend pass ticket, and then before it'll prompt a code. So if you put in that code, that discount code again, it's good vibe. So all in black capitals. and you'll be able to obtain a 35% discount. And as I mentioned, like the offer is until I think it's Sunday night, so it's from the 1st to the 3rd, so it's a 3-day thing. Right. Also, it's limited to 20 tickets. So get in quick, is 20 tickets on this discounted offer available. When they're gone, they're gone. But you won't get, a better chance to get cheaper tickets. It's a great offer. €70, 35% off. It's you can't say fairer than that.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this after the 3rd of December 2017, you can, of course, still buy tickets at the regular price, but this offer is just for the first 3 days of December up until midnight, I guess, on Sunday the 3rd. But, if you're catching this after the 3rd of December, still do go and get your tickets. And if people go onto the Eventbrite page, they can just type in Open Minds Ireland Conference in the search function, I guess, and get to your section there, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And I hope people will support it with those advanced ticket sales. If people listening to this are thinking, oh yeah, we'll just roll up that weekend and buy tickets on the door, it really would be so much more helpful if they would get these tickets in advance. As you mentioned earlier, it really helps the organisers out in being able to meet all the upfront costs involved, and you'll really be helping to support the event that way. But either way, we look forward to seeing everyone there in March, Doolis Hotel, Waterford, for another great event. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks very much for having me on.
This is just for fun.
I'm picking up vibrations. I'm picking up good vibrations. I'm picking up good vibrations.